Hello, my friends, welcome. Hello. I want to look into BK and I want to see why he was bullied, my personal humble opinion. There are no facts here, into taking this plea deal after pushing so hard for discovery. So before I did the reading, I wanted to figure out what we already knew intuitively, or Ethan had told us before I pulled cards. So I'm going to do that with you because I just want to get on the same page, and I was just curious what we found. So what we've already found in previous readings, well, the DNA is straight up fraud, in my personal humble opinion, and the court documents can back me up. It's the only trace of, I'm reading, so the only trace of BK's DNA was found on the inner button snap of the sheath that had no blood, and no fingerprints were pulled from the sheath surface. Another swab with presumptive blood tested, and he was excluded. That sounds like evidence planting. Okay. And I'll find those court documents. Actually, I've seen them. Mind control. I definitely think that BK is a victim of MK Ultra. If you don't know what that is, I will make a video. Maybe we'll do our Monday Night Live this week on MK Ultra. I got that he was, and one of our lovely friends on YouTube, she tags me when we talk about MK Ultra stuff. I can't remember her name. I'll put it in here though. Okay. I had a reading one time. It was the one about court cameras being banned, and it felt like a machine was answering. When you do a reading, you set sacred space, call in the quarters, and then you are asking permission of that person's higher self. That's how you can do readings of people who are still alive. And BK felt really mechanical. And I said the energy is mechanical, not emotional. It felt like I was speaking to AI. I pulled the High Priestess and the Queen of Pentacles. Well, actually, the Queen of Pentacles the High Priestess is secrets, and the Queen of Pentacles is money. I specifically asked if BK squared. If you don't know who BK squared is, there's only two people involved in this case, and I don't think either of them are dead, and they have the initials BK. One of them is our buddy Brian. I think that he is autistic, and I think that he was a good patsy. I've been saying that for 3 years, or however long ago this happened. I specifically asked if BK squared Bran Kohberger. Is BK squared, and I don't think he's dead. I think he's a highly trained assassin. He was in a Black Ops program. That's my own personal humble opinion. BK, BK squared, if you're watching. I've been on to you for years. I asked if BK squared was BK's handler, because the timing of it all lined up perfect. So yeah, the answer to that was yes. Allegedly. I read energy. I also think that that confirms the MK Ultra. Bran Kohberger is the perfect person to be in these military programs. MK Ultra uses the military. They tell you that. Well, not just military, but military is a huge place for them to get recruits. Lucky. Okay, so that's an MK Ultra. I think that BK squared is MK Ultra too. I don't even know what we would call it there. It's probably like beta program is what I think that BK squared is. Beta is assassin. I don't think that BK squared doesn't know though. in the beta program, they split your personality so one front personality doesn't know what the back one does. I fully think that BK Squared knows exactly what. I think he's good at it too. I don't think he's dead, I'll tell you that. Okay, the next reading we did was the camera ban and the censorship in the courtroom. Was that his idea? No. He didn't initiate it. But it felt like at that time that choice was a programmed choice. He wasn't making his own decisions. It's almost like his soul. I don't know. It's sad. And we've already done this in Atlantis. At least once. It felt like this is what it said. It felt like the choice was influenced or programmed. I picked up on duality, surveillance tech, and transmission wires suggesting interference. He believes it was his choice, but it might not have been. It wasn't. I don't think. I think he has handlers around him. Ethan spoke through the cards and called out the traitors. We pulled the snake, the dress rehearsal. Oh, this was a big night. This was the final night of our Idaho readings. Must have been reading 33. Pulled the snake, the dress rehearsal, and the stare symbol during an angel card reading. The message directly from Ethan's spirit was, I've shed my skin. This was the dress rehearsal. You had the chance to choose different. You betrayed me, and I'm back. That was a big night. We're using archaic, in my opinion. This isn't a history, but in my opinion, we're using an archaic system in general. But thinking that they're going to have a jury pool that doesn't have social media or the internet, I think that's fine. But what I just want to know is, I don't think that's realistic. And so that being said, all I really want to know is what the end game is. Why wouldn't he want cameras in the courtroom? Back to Rider Waite. I did like those Game of Thrones cards though. So I will shuffle these, and then I just want to know what his end game is. I might have to ask this a few different ways too. Someone actually had a great point. The way I was asking the babies for the girls, there was something that I might need to redo that and ask in a different way. And I will as soon as I get an A-okay on the energy. Well, today it wasn't. So we'll try that next time, or maybe tomorrow or whenever. But thank you for that tip or that idea. So what I really want to know is what the end game is. Like, why wouldn't the defense want cameras in there? And is it really to protect the victims and the witnesses, which is fine, but is it to protect other people that might not have such a clean background? Or, well, first of all, these cards just jumped and I was still in the middle of talking. So I'm going to set these out. Oh, I think that's on. So these just jumped out. I'm just putting them down the way that they jumped out. I think we might have to use a different deck already. All I can think about is we're going to use a different deck. Sorry up there. We're going to use one we've never used before for these guys, because just give that guy a little rest. All right, this might be one of those nights, and thank you for your patience. So we're going to try the Pulp Tarot. I also brought out a different deck just in case. So I want to know what the end game is. So if he doesn't want cameras to protect the victims and the witnesses, I feel like that's really nice. Is it really the defense? Are there other people that perhaps don't want? Because the whole point of your First Amendment right and the right to, well, the fact that we own all of the federal buildings as a taxpayer, so they are technically public, even though they're not. That's fine. Those are semantics. But in all technicality, the only reason to have cameras is for transparency. So backdoor deals can't happen, so that we can all form our own opinion. We're all presented with the same information. So who benefits? I want to know if this is Bryan's idea. I don't feel like it is. So let's start with, is banning the cameras in the courtroom Bryan's idea? Let's just do upright yes, reversals no. And then if we'll go do a full reading. Because upright yes, reversals no. Is banning the cameras in the courtrooms Bryan's idea? Yes, yes, no, yes, yes. That was pretty strong, yes. Oh, I started also listening to some astrology, the houses, so I can brush up my game. Right? I guess you could say studying, but so what we have here, this is a solid yes. Actually, you know what? I don't know why I'm so hot. This actually would have been an okay night to use our Game of Thrones cards because Frat Row is already here. And the Tower and the Chariot. Well, so what I'm looking at, and the underlying energy is the Eight of Swords in reverse. I wonder if I should just start this all over and just redo this with the Game of Thrones. I don't know. Oh, we have the Ace of Pentacles. Oh. I think I have to. I'm just gonna ask if I can say this out loud. Just 1 second. I'm just gonna pull one card. If it's upright, yes. If it's in reversal, no. So we have no. All right. I'm just gonna explain what I think I'm looking at. Oh, we have Justice, and the Empress was the one that I pulled out. So there is contract right here. That's our Ace of Pentacles. So this is something that has come up with Miss Ashley at the Reckoning in the past. So I couldn't ask the question. So what we have here is Knight of Wands. That's our Frat Row. We have the Chariot. We know about with the Chariot. He got arrested in his car. They were sending out he wasn't in his car. He got pulled over twice, driving cross country. He was at his house. And that would be traumatizing to have the FBI break into your house at 3 a.m. There was also question about this car. There's lots of weird things about the Chariot. And then we have our whole other Chariot situation on a different level. Right now, we're just talking about BK. Then we have the Seven of Pentacles. Anytime you see Pentacles, oh, you didn't show up. We have Justice. These are the American outlaws that we love. The Seven of Pentacles is always losing money. Then we have the Tower. That's the dumpster fire. We have the Nine of Wands. That could be a little, I can't even, BK squared is a wand. And then we have the Knight of Wands here. We have the Eight of Swords in reverse. Eights are always in reverse, though. It's like, oh, this is on the other deck, this is she might have free will, but she might not. And we have a contract. I want to see if, oh man, I was just hoping for a really quick, easy read tonight. So this might be, all right, does Bryan Kohberger know that he asked for no cameras in the courtroom? Say that's a yes. Well, we have the Page of Swords. That's our messengers telling all the secrets. And then we have the Devil, El Diablo. All right, we're switching. Thank you. I'm sorry, team. We have to switch. We're going to go to the the other deck because it's telling a little bit bigger of a story. I was thinking it was just going to be a really quick read, and what we just got was just not that. So we're going to try this. Try this Game of Thrones deck. I'm just going to pull my hair up right now because I'm already getting sweaty. So what we're going to do is, oh, these cards feel good. We are going all right. So I've seen other readers, especially my regulars. I always quote Ashley in this. Hold on, let me just feel this out for a second. So we'll just start from the beginning. Does BK know does BK want the cameras out of the courtroom? Did BK decide to take the cameras out of the courtroom? Yes. That's a hard yes. Oh boy. So that was BK's idea. All right, let me explain what I'm looking at here. Okay. So what I'm looking at, so we had a yes that BK knows. There's also been discussion that not all the wires are transmitting correctly. And that's very, very cryptic, and I'm really sorry, but I'm getting a really hard no on this discussion. And so it's kind of impeding my ability to ask the question. Well, we're just going to play it by ear. So the first thing that I noticed, all right, so I'll explain what we have. We have a Two of Swords. The Two of Swords, this person or child or whatever, see how eyes don't have eyes? And we have the Nine of Cups. That's the fat, happy man. He's upright. We have Temperance. She's our angel on the other cards. We have the Seven of Coins. That's the hard worker. Sometimes represents the cowboy. The Two of Swords is the little card I always say stuck between a rock and a hard place. We have the Two of Coins. Oh, thanks for all your help on this. Of course, it's someone in the Game of Thrones. Everyone has their own interpretation of this card, and that's good. To me, it's duality. You have two choices. You can make two choices, but that's it. I don't know. I don't have a huge, strong opinion. Then we have the Knight of Swords. I recognize those guys are the frat boys. Then we have the Nine of Spears. That's getting ready to go into battle. Then we have the Page of Swords. I'm going to read these all up right for the second. It just doesn't feel right to read these cards in reverse. Page of Swords. So at first, when I pulled these, every suit, that's the minor arcana. The minor arcana are 2 through 10 of pentacles, pentacles, wands, swords, and cups. So what was conveniently or weirdly missing was our spears. So we just got a spears. Spears happen to be BK squared and his new Muffet. So I'm going to just ask him if there's some kind of mind altering game going on are we actually speaking to his subconscious? That's the question I want to know. Is there something going on? Let's just start there because I don't know how to play games and it confuses me. All right. So is there something going on? Oh, how do I ask this? All right. We had a jumper and I was just asking for guidance on how to ask this question. Well, these are the first two feminines we've seen in a long time that aren't the Queen of Swords or something. We have the Queen of Coins and the Priestess. I was trying to figure out a way. The Priestess. Wait, this is our BJ Queen. She's secrets. She's a number 2. So I was trying to figure out if there's some kind of mind fuck going on with BK. And it wasn't the direction that I was don't ask in that way. So I was trying to ask it in a different way. Well, let me just tell you what we got. We have money bags and we have secrets. So that makes this a little bit more confusing because what we want to know is it one of the rumors that was going around. This is all just a rumor that I took I was very intrigued by it because there were some rumors going around, or perhaps, well, I don't talk to anyone about this stuff. Well, that I heard that BK, I'm just going to say all this, had a trigger word. So that means we're going to have to use our imaginations on what a trigger word is. But there were some rumors that BK squared was his handler, and BK squared isn't it like the Manchurian candidate or something? It might be a Born or a Manchurian candidate that they show you what they're doing. That's like part of the whole thing. They have to show us so then they can do it and say, we told you. So I think it might either be the Manchurian candidate or one of the Borns. Jason Bourne. They have a handler, they have a trigger word. So they go into this, allegedly, according to the movies. And they go into a blackout and they don't remember. Well, I didn't really have any opinions yet on this. I just didn't think he did it. That was the only thing I felt. But I wasn't really that involved. So right now, why don't we just ask that? Because what I'm getting is the answers we're getting are not his subconscious. It's not him. If he's telling me something or his subconscious is saying something, it's really weird. It's very mechanical. It's almost like a machine it's very similar to AI. That's really the only way I can explain it. So what I want to know, so this is saying right here that someone paid someone, something happened with a lot of money and we're never going to find out because this is our ride or die. She doesn't tell her secrets and Boaz is the bee. This is very ancient scriptures. So she just doesn't play. So the answer that I would say is, well, money exchanged hands and we're never going to find out. So I'm going to clear these. I guess what we should do then is ask BK squared. Oh, let's just ask BK squared if he's the handler. This might be confusing. And if you're new here, thank you. Welcome. I would just like to kindly ask everyone to please not put any questions in the comments if you haven't already watched the entire 3 seasons that are waiting for you, that are so excited to see you. And then after you've watched all 3 seasons, if you still have questions, I'd be more than happy to answer them. But I just have to say thank you all so much for being very mindful of that. I don't even read comments. I'm not really into that. I told you I had this account forever and it was fine. And I never read comments or anything, so I've been really pushing myself to stay engaged with this comments on social. But it's also, I feel like it's helpful. We're not just, so that was another reason. I have a very short attention span, clearly, but especially for that stuff. So I guess, so if this doesn't make sense, and then you've watched all 29 episodes and you still don't get it, please ask as many questions as you like. I'd be more than happy to answer them. So what I want to know, we might have 2 handler questions tonight then. Is BK squared BK's handler? I'll just do upright yes, reversals no. And then I'm going to flip them all and read them upright because it just doesn't feel right to read these in reverse right now. Is BK squared BK's handler? That just cut weird. Oh, well, I don't know if that cut weird. All right, there we go. So the answer is no. No, yes, yes. And the 2 yeses, so that's a soft no. We're going to do 2 out of 3 because these yeses happen to be the party. All right, so that was a soft no. We're going to do that again. BK squared, BK's handler. Yes, 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 no. Whoa, that is a really hard yes. Every sword just showed up plus the 10 of cups. Upright. All right, well, this is going to be our tiebreaker. Is BK squared BK's handler? All right, is BK squared BK's handler? Oh, this is so weird. Yes, no, yes, yes, no. So it's a yes. Wait. Yeah, so we have 3 yeses. So the answer to this question is yes. The cards that we got, we should have been using this deck the whole time. This is the 10 of swords. This is our overkill. Whoa. We have the star. And we just had our little lesson last night on the fire energy of the star. So that's our emperor. Oh boy. Oh boy. This is our king of coins. So the answer is yes. Oh gosh. I'm feeling short of breath. Then we have the 6 of swords. The 4 of swords. Here's our dead little boy. So, and we have our 2 of coins. And this is like, I see it as duality. There was a comment that everyone's feeding off of this center energy. Well, I don't even know handler is, honestly. I know it from Jason or from the movies. I guess that's what we're going to do. We're going to just play a movie game tonight because, and we have, there is an awesome, well, it's not awesome, but I appreciated the comment because one of the frat row kids' family is from Argentina. And this is all allegedly for entertainment purposes only. Please do your own research. I'm just check with the tarot card. And there's been some talk, and I think we had an operation down there. Was that Operation Paperclip, actually? That might have had something to do with this exact thing that I thought of yesterday when I saw it. Still think the exact same thing today when I saw it. Are we allowed to say those words here? Oh boy. But well, all right. So what we don't have, why don't we start there? I'm going to pull some more of these cards. And I'm not going to read them in reverse, just so you guys know up there. It just doesn't feel right to read these cards in reverse. And since yesterday was my first time using them, we're going with that for now until it feels right, if it does. Isn't that peculiar? This puts everyone in a little bit of a tough spot then, doesn't it? But it makes a lot more sense. Of course. This couldn't just be like all right, well then, we got our answers, so now we're just going to read on. Or we might do a easy answer like, did Kaylee have any? All right. This can of worms, I have really not had any interest in going down. And if you don't, just for my own, see, this would have been a good time to be live. I just need to know the timeline. Did it go Idaho 4, then BK? No, the Idaho 4, then BK squared, and then BK got arrested? It's peculiar. Is that how it happened? Because I might have to pause you guys, because if that's the timeline, then that's okay. Just to check with some tarot cards. All right, so I think that's the timeline. I'm going to go ahead and clear this energy. It was. I think it was. I think BK squared happened in December. Kidding me? Who benefits from all of that? What we should do then is, we're going to change directions right now. Because right now it's not a good time to play with the energy that's going on out there. And for the reasons we need to know, it's not what will... So we're going to change directions. We're going to see. We're going to leave that right ahead alone. That's not for us to go down right now. We're going to ask if if the devil was Kaylee's handler. I should just do a reading on Kaylee. I'm already half an hour in. Sorry, guys. We should just ask if... all right, first we'll ask if HJ was Kaylee's handler. Oh, all right. I'm having one of those moments again about what questions do I actually want the answers to, because was HJ Kaylee's handler? All right. The cards that jumped are the Chariot and the Knight of Swords. Or Spears, sorry, Spears. So that has represented Forever and a car. Could be... well, an old-fashioned regular tarot here. Sorry, I'm talking like you're all watching with me. The Chariot in the Rider-Waite in the regular tarot. Well, it's not regular, they're all regular, but in the old-fashioned tarot, traditional tarot, is stationary picture. It's stationary. It's a chariot, it's like stopped. Over here in Game of Thronesville, which is also very similar to, it's moving, and it looks pretty fast to me. It's like to me, it looks like a dragon ready to go. Like a fight. And we have a Knight of Spears. So the swords are technically the ones that were running in, but all these knights were going into Front Row, or from Front Row. So what does... Oh boy. So, well, just explain what I'm looking at. We have the Chariot, and we have the Knight of Spears. Spears are our wands, Knight of Wands. We just got the King of Wands, and Miss Muffet just sat on him yesterday. I was literally just asking, and switched the topic, so I didn't have to go down this road. If you're caught up, you will know what that is. If you're not, don't ask. Because we are going down a road that I was just specifically told not to go down. And so I thought that we were going in a completely different direction by asking a completely different person about a different thing. And the answer was, no, don't ask. So we should do, actually, that I kept saying yesterday and then it didn't happen, pull some angel cards for Jim Chapin. Because he needs them, and so do you. And so do I. Apparently we're pulling through. Even the angel cards want to talk tonight. Okay, so the cards that we're going to use a few of them. And we're going to just pull a few angel cards for our boy Jim because he needs them, and so do I. I'm going to just make him a little pile of all the cards that are calling to me right now. And then we're going to figure it out. So Ethan's here. He would like to say hello to everyone if you're watching. So the first card that we got was a snake. And I am pretty sure we have pulled angel cards one time before. And somehow Ethan pulled out the snake the first time. So you can see this as a number of things. There's a reference in the Christian Bible to entity that is not of the whitest light. There's a lot of examples that we could talk about. But I think Ethan, I don't know who Ian is, but I will. So what we just got right here is everyone that's watching that knows Ethan. This isn't really for Jim. I'm feeling this is for the friend. I would call them the betrayers. What do we call it? Treasons. You committed treason. You stabbed him in the back. Well, I think he's telling you he's on to you. And he shed his skin and he's returning now. And it couldn't be any clearer. It says it right on the card. So sleep well tonight. He also wants to remind you that you had free will and you could have made other choices. This is called the dress rehearsal. Right on the card, it says alternative choices, alternative course, and choices. Somebody is getting called out so hard right now, and I am here for it. And we have some stairs. That's about your direction and timing. So if there's someone who's in Ethan's life that is very symbolic of Adam and Eve, might have heard of it. This is very symbolic of the masks that you were wearing that night. And this is very symbolic of the stairs that you went up. So I hope you got the message because we're not done. We're going to go on to we'll give Jimbo a try again. And if Ethan has any more messages for any of his padres out there, we'll keep them coming. But I think that was pretty much a mic drop moment. That was badass. I must say, that was awesome. That was a good save, too. All right, we'll go back to Jim. All right, we have something cute. We have an owl. If we had another snake, I was going to lose it. This is for Jim Chapin. The other message was from Ethan to all of the delinquents out there that are living their best lives. Whether you're in Spain, forgot to check the extradition, or you're back at school, or you're picking up the scholarships. Ethan wants you to know that he is back, and he shed the old skin, and he's back. Good luck. We have a Hawaiian owl. Also, back to Jim. Ethan's not over this, and so I'm kind of waiting to see if you guys all know who it's meant for, got the message. So now, Jimbo, your ancestral spirit guides are offering you guidance right now. So pay close attention to signs and omens for them. Well, our homie is definitely here. So Jim, you gotta start praying because your homie's trying to connect with you. All right, well, that was pretty much the most badass angel reading I've ever seen in my entire life. I was gonna do angel cards, but I feel like we're good. So that was a fun night. Thank you for coming. I just want to thank you. That was a really cool mic drop moment. That was really cool. I must say, that was pretty witty. And I don't think I've ever seen anything since or before that. Our recap is going to be very vague. I've got nothing for a recap for you. And Ethan wants to tell everyone that betrayed him that he's back. He shed his old skin and he's in new skin. and that this is a dress rehearsal and you had the opportunity to make different choices and you fucked up. You are fucked, and I love it. I'm here for it. I say that every time he does something really witty like that. I just think he's so cool. So with that being said, I will end it on that. I feel like everyone is going to sleep really well tonight, and we are going to send you so much love and light, especially Ethan's friends. If you're having some weird dreams, let us know. Any snakes in your dreams? It's been fun. Thank you all for coming, and have a good night. Confirms the soul contract is not complete. Ethan is awake, watching, and aligned with justice. So those are those 3 readings. I already know some of these answers. The Manchurian candidate is the closest thing that I could think of when I was doing those readings. I thought that BK had been trained like a Manchurian candidate. I don't know. I think that he's heavily drugged, and I feel really bad. It's hard going into his energy. This Idaho 4 case, for some reason, is tough. And now I'm going to do reading. I wanted to just lay that groundwork before I did this, because I just wanted to remember what we'd already picked up. So I'll be back in 4 seconds. I'm just going to put my computer back. And then, hello, my friends, welcome. I would like to do reading on BK. I want to know what happened. And with all due respect, our friend Steve has been here or is here, so we are going to tread very lightly. And Steve...
Why did the G family mention that Maddie just bought a house? I thought Maddie passed away. This is about the Idaho 4 case and the Bryan Kohberger trial. Listen to this interview and listen carefully because this is bombshell.
Maddie's husband, Maddie just bought a house, Maddie's husband, Maddie just bought a house,
And right after that exchange, you could see she received a text message and then gets up and leaves. And then a short time later, our best friend, Shannon Gray, arrives on the scene just in time. But I find it interesting that she would even come up with that. I don't know. It just seemed like a really random topic to show up on this interview, and I couldn't help but think.
I have questions. I saw some comments. I don't delete comments, I delete people. But they were, King of Swords. Frat Rose already here. We're going to use the... What deck is this? It's Game of Thrones. Because this is a Game of Thrones. And True Crime Design can explain it if you actually believe the propaganda coming out of Idaho. I don't have the patience to explain it, and I just explained what we've already gotten in the past. He's an MK Ultra victim. I think BK squared is Bran Kohberger, and I think that's his handler. I think that something very serious, like threatened to kill his family, and that this organization is perfectly capable of that. They are highly trained, and I just want to know what happened to BK. It's hard to go into his energy. It's super sad. And we already have jumpers, so we're actually going to use 2 decks. We're going to use, I've already called in the quarters and set sacred space. And I just want to know what they threatened him with. How did he go from asking 22 or 23? The last time I looked, I think it was 22 requests for discovery. And then all of a sudden plead guilty? No way. Something happened. and I want to know what happened. They've already said in the court documents that the DNA is, like, not his, really. I mean, it's planted. So we're going to use the regular Rider-Waite. I've heard a few of the Game of Thrones cards have already fallen, so we're going to use those too, but... Oh, that cut weird. Seven of Pentacles. All right. So for the Game of Thrones, oh, my thing's off. We have the King of Swords. Shocker. We have the Star in reverse. Actually, this deck doesn't like to be read in reverse. Oh, we have the Devil, El Diablo, Death. Oh, this is, and the Queen of Wands. The underlying energy was the Seven of Pentacles. And we have the Empress, D-Bag, and the Three of Spears. This is our Three of Wands card. Guess whose energy's all over this already? The shockingly living roommate. That's, I saw a comment on the Magician. Are you kidding? The Magician. I feel like we should, I might call Ethan in. I haven't heard from him in a while. I haven't asked either, but the intention was, I need a drink. Here's an MK Ultra card, and here's our Overkill card. Here's our party. Okay. The intention was what happened to BK. Well, El Diablo's here. I heard he struggled with addiction. I don't know what I heard it from, though. If it was any mainstream, I don't buy it. We have the Death card here. Death is an end. That is the end of a cycle. We have the Queen of Wands. This is the Mother. Trash bucket Mother. We have the Magician. Smoke and mirrors. This is, we're dealing with bodies. So this isn't the way, this is True Crime Tarot. I made it, it came through me. Because when you're dealing with bodies, everything is, like, different, a little different. So, El Diablo, this in a real reading could be addictions. Here, we are dealing with El Diablo and the dark side. I mean, seriously. We also have the Death card. Obviously, we're dealing with that. Smoke and mirrors. It's not what it seems. And I am almost 100% sure. This is either D-Bag, the shockingly living roommate who has 90 grand in her GoFundMe, or that Mother. Well, I mean, we are dealing with some really dark energy. I was taught not to say it because then you summon it, and I don't want to deal with it today. I don't want to deal with it at all. So we're not going to summon it. We also have this is sad. This is actually really sad. We have a Star. The Star, it can mean so many things. It's like, it can be addiction to, it could be, I mean, we know they're allegedly. I don't know how allegedly it is, but they're moving people, rugs, and what is it? Whatever ends with trafficking. And I can't even say that word. This is an MK Ultra programming. We have gotten in the past that BK inherited this contract from his grandfather. His grandfather, I don't know what he did, but we have gotten this card for Ethan in the past. This is the Overkill card. I can't believe he's still alive, actually. Someone's watching their pentacles, Scott Green. And then we have the Game of Thrones. These cards are awesome, and they don't play. This is the Empress. This is the energy of the shocking living roommate. I don't buy it. This is frat row, has represented frat row. This is King of Swords in our deck. Yeah, it says swords here. And this is Three of Wands. Threes. Has anyone found any proof that there were actually triplets? Because if I haven't posted it yet, I'll post Ethan's mother saying that she just says she has twins now. I personally have never lost a child, but I know a lot of moms that have. And I'll tell you one thing. They always say they have that, say they had 3 children and one of them dies. Well, the children that I knew were older. And the mom still struggles with saying less than. Ethan's mom doesn't. Our intention was what was behind the scenes for BK. Tapping into his energy is very similar to tapping into an AI machine. And what we're looking at here is the same women that were involved in Ethan's situation, death, El Diablo, the Emperor. Not the Emperor, the Magician. It's all smoke and mirrors. And it was concocted by a female, in my personal humble opinion. If there's a breakup or a separation, I don't even think the Chapins are actually married. She was married to his brother. Could be wrong. If you're in here, welcome. I don't remember ever seeing a marriage certificate for them. I remember it for his brother, though. It's like Jen McCabe. Oh, it's the same. I don't even think Jen McCabe is dumb, but she's not genius. We're dealing with a woman who is beyond manipulative and smart. Oh, there's a cybercrime here. Yeah. Fraud. Yeah. There's a lot of money that this school is getting from the feds that's very questionable. There's a lot that goes on behind the scenes. Parent, partner, or spouse. Someone's going through a breakup. I hope it's not BK's parents. The intention was BK, though. Yeah, well, this is going into a different reading. I'm going to explain these, and then I'm going to set a different intention because we're getting some other stuff. All right, so the intention was what happened to BK? We have El Diablo. We are dealing with dark magic. I don't even want to call it magic. It's just the demons. The Magician is smoke and mirrors in this context. Death is very literal. We have a Queen of Wands. That might be Stacy. We have the Star. The Star can mean addiction. It can mean wish upon a star. It could be magic, for real magic. This is an MK Ultra programming card. This is an overkill card. I think it's pretty clear that BK got the message. If he didn't do what they told him he was going to do, the devil's knocking on his door. It's an overkill. And someone got paid money. Don't affect our money. The King of Swords, this has represented, the Knights of Swords represented frat row. Who is the king? It's been about a year or two since I've read on these guys, but a King of Swords. He's very smart and he could shake your hand or cut your head off. We have the Empress. This notoriously has... One time I said that Dylan, or I don't even know, I'll call her D-Bag, because I'm not trying to slander. I just read energy. I one time said that D-Bag got demoted because the mother was there and she stepped into it. D-Bag was never really demoted, though. D-Bag is very high in this organization, allegedly, according to her energy. And then we have the Three of Wands. So this is like, threes are perfect trinity. Threes are also, it's like wandering. He wants to get out and get away. And then it looks like we have a breakup. So I think that BK got threatened, and I think they made it pretty clear what they were going to do if he didn't play along. But I don't think it was to him. I think they threatened his family. I don't know if, I think they were threatening his family. It's not him, though. I don't think he's like that afraid. I don't want to say he's ready to die by any means, but I think this was the family. They were going after his family. And I wonder if they went to Pennsylvania to get him, to show him, we know where you are. Because we have some breakups here, and I hope it's not his parents. This would be really hard to live through. And we have fraud. This is all of University of Idaho. Check their budgets. Ask why is Scott Green there? There's a lot of fraud going on, and that's my opinion. I think they went after BK's family, and I think that's why he folded. I also think that they threatened the family, and he's dealing with sinister. This is not of this world. I don't think that BK had a choice, and I don't know if he's going to make it very long. I'm surprised they haven't eliminated that problem in their... Something happened. We were getting a lot of the mother and the roommate that miraculously lived, their energy. I want to know I feel like, this is my intuition, I feel like they went after BK's family. And I also think that's why they arrested him in Pennsylvania, to show him who is boss. I need to think, I'm going to stop this, it's getting long, but I'm going to think of how I can ask this a different way. Maybe what we should do is tap into his energy the day before he made the decision. I'll go sit with it for a minute. I'll be right back, I'm sure. Because I want to figure out, I think what they did was they went after his family. That's the only thing I can think of that would make him fold like that, is if they threatened his family. And then by arresting him in Pennsylvania in the middle of the night under the cloak of the FBI or whatever they're calling themselves. I think that was because we already got that the organization has infiltrated witness protection, confidential informants, like it's very thick and deep in there. I think that was just them saying, we have you by the balls and you're going to play along. I think that was a game. The same way they had a moving truck that Fry drove with Pennsylvania right on it. That's like part of PSYOP. I wonder, there's a distinct moment though. Like any of our friends that are studying this or looking into it, where's Anne? She's our hero. What happened? Is she okay? She was doing such a great job. I'm going to stop you for a second because now I just need to think, and it's 16 minutes. What happened to BK? It has to be bigger than just threatening him. They got to Epstein and that sounds like an op to me too, that whole thing. I mean, he's not safe anywhere, but the only thing I can think of is they went after his family or threatened his family. If you guys are getting anything intuitive, let me know. I think I'm going to come back. I'm going to go take a walk or something and connect and just see if I can. I feel like they went after his family. We'll see what we can get. I'll be back. I love you. Thanks for coming.